Well, hey everybody out there, welcome back to the channel. It's Chris here from JMNC Games, and today we are taking a look at the fun party game Hand to Hand Wombat. This game is for 3 to 6 players, ages 7 and up, and the average game time is just about 15 minutes. If you haven't already done so, please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. We greatly do appreciate that, and it sure does help us grow. And if you feel so inclined, if the videos helped you in any way, you can support the channel directly by visiting Buy Me a Coffee. Now let's dive in and take a look at what's inside the box. There are 3 Wombat towers, the boundary, which is the box lid, 10 Wombat cards, 6 reference cards, the scorecard, and 2 point trackers. The game also includes this great comic by the Oatmeal, which is all about wombats. You can click on the link to hear me read the whole story to you, and it's pretty funny. Not included, but you will also need a timer which can be set for 90 seconds. To set up, take the top of the box and place it in the center of the playing area. Place the centerpieces of the 3 towers in the box along with all of the pieces of the Wombat towers like this. Each player should take 1 reference card. Depending on the number of players will determine how many Wombat cards you need. One of the cards needs to be the Wicked Wombat, and all of the others will be the Basic Wombat. Once you've played a few times, you may want to add in the Advanced Play Wombat cards for an extra challenge. Shuffle the Wombat cards and then deal 1 face down to each player. Players may look at their card but not reveal it to any of the other players. Now set the timer. Everyone should close or cover their eyes. The basic Wombats have the task of using only 1 hand and not opening their eyes to try and build the 3 towers correctly, with the largest piece at the bottom and the smallest at the top. Players may not take pieces out of the boundary, nor open their eyes or use more than 1 hand. You are allowed to communicate with each other, rearrange bricks, or hold bricks in your hand. If you have a tower that you think is completed and needs protecting, you can cover it with your hand. Who would it need protecting from? Well, one of your fellow players is a bad Wombat and is trying to sabotage your build. They must follow the same rules. They cannot open their eyes, use more than 1 hand, or remove pieces from the boundary. At the end of 90 seconds, everyone can open their eyes and see how they did. If they have completed 3 towers, the good Wombats score 2 points. If they've completed 2 towers, the good Wombats score 1 point. If 2 towers are incomplete, the bad Wombat scores 1 point. And if all towers are incomplete, the bad Wombat scores 2 points. You can use the point tracker to keep track of the score. The first team to reach 3 points is the winner of the game. If no team has scored 3 points by the end of a round, you now move on to the voting phase. Players count down from 3, and on vote, they point to who they think is the bad Wombat. If a player is unsure, they point upwards. Now, players can discuss their votes or defend themselves against accusations. Once the discussion is complete, now the final vote, and players repeat. Again, if you wish to abstain from voting, you just point upwards. If someone has received more than half of the votes, they are out of the game. They do not build or vote anymore. They should not reveal their identity and can still talk to other players. If there is a tie or no one has more than half of the vote, no one is out and continue to the next round. Before starting the next round, reset the playing area. reset the timer, and play another round the same as before. Keep playing and repeating the votes until one team reaches 3 points. Afterwards, all players can reveal which type of wombat they are. For the advanced version of the game, if you're playing with more people, you can also add in these other types of wombats for extra fun. The confident wombat can put pieces onto the tower, but cannot take pieces off. The needy wombat cannot pick up pieces from the boundary. They must take pieces from other players. The generous wombat cannot place onto the towers. They can only give pieces to other players. And the confused wombat starts out good, but once the good team gets 2 points, he then turns to being bad. And that's how you play hand-to-hand wombat. Thanks for joining us today. We sure hope you enjoyed our short presentation on hand-to-hand wombat. If you've got any questions about the game, you can drop them down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer those as quickly as I can. And while you're there, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel, as we greatly do appreciate that. Well, now we know the basics, so let's play.